Eagles. Eagles.
And welcome in, everybody, to a special Saturday stream here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. I got some content coming for you guys today. It's not our usual day of content, but we will have some content. I'm going to talk to Johnny Mack in a little bit. That'll be on a separate stream. It'll be in about 25 minutes from now. We'll talk to Johnny Mack, but I did want to come on here live and just do a little bit of a recap, a little bit of an aftermath of yesterday's loss on Black Friday for the Philadelphia Eagles. It was an ugly one. 24-15, they lost the game. I think the score looked better for the Eagles than the game looked, to be frank with you guys. I thought the offense was really pitiful in the game, and the defense was pitiful in the game. I mean, both of them were awful. The defense gave up 281 yards rushing. You know, they gave up 7 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai had over 125 yards each. You know, Jalen Hurts was terrible in the game. That was one of the worst games I've seen Jalen play. You know, he was inaccurate many times, couldn't move the ball. Offense didn't do a whole lot. And then, you know, it's interesting. They start to throw the ball to A.J. Brown, and boom, you get some points on the board. Even in the second half when they got their first touchdown, boom, you start to throw the ball to A.J. Brown, and you get in the end zone. When there is garbage time and you're trying to come back, boom, you throw the ball to A.J. Brown, you get into the end zone. I think this team really is going to have to look in the mirror and think about this risk-averse approach. This entire offense, to me, seems to be created to avoid interceptions. And I don't understand why that is. Even if you're not a Jalen Hurts guy, even if you think Jalen Hurts has limitations, I don't understand why you run this offense. It's not setting him up for success. It's not setting the team up for success. And you see what happens when they do that. So we're going to talk about it all a little bit. I won't be live for long, but I will be following up this stream with another one with Johnny Mack. So stay tuned, everybody. There'll be 2 streams back-to-back. Neither of them will be all that long, probably 20 to 25 minutes each. So let's kick it around. I will take some comments from you guys as well. But what I do have to do is I have to give some of the key takeaways from the game. And the first one, I know we all want to harp on the offense, and I do agree. The offense sucks, and I think it's really started to take its toll in a big way on the defense. But you give up 281 yards on the ground. I have never seen that defensive line get moved like that. That Bears offensive line tortured the Eagles defensive line. They tortured the Eagles defensive line. I mean, they truly did. They moved them off the ball easily. They were the better team. They were the hungrier team. They were the more physical team. They ran the ball at will and at ease. Ben Johnson schemes plays like I've never. It's amazing the way he schemes plays, even in the run game. I mean, he had some runs. This offensive line completely closes the defensive line this way. Reed, Blankenship, and Quinion have to respect the potential to the rollout. He's got a guy rolling out. Looks like Caleb could take the ball and roll out to his right, and they bite on that. And then there's just a gaping hole for Kyle Monungai to run right up the seam. I mean, it's amazing how well he schemed it up. Anytime your defense gives up 281 yards rushing on the ground, that's going to be problem number one. Now, I think the key question on that is, to me, is why is that? Is the 281 yards rushing and the 85 plays, think about that, 85 plays. Guys, that might be the most plays all year. I have to double check that stat. That might be the most plays for a defense all year long. 85 freaking plays. Now, are the 85 plays on defense because you couldn't stop the run to save your life? Or are they because your offense can't move the ball to save its life? It's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I think it's a combination of all of them, obviously, but 85 plays is absolutely 100% egregious. It just is. So that's my first point on the game. The second point on the game is the line of scrimmage. Okay. The Eagles' offensive line is getting destroyed at the line of scrimmage, and the Eagles' defensive line got destroyed at the line of scrimmage. So when you don't have good lines of scrimmage in the NFL, and this isn't news to anybody listening, you don't win at a high clip. You don't win at a high level. You don't set yourself up to be consistently successful in the National Football League. The Bears invested a whole lot of money in that offensive line. They're 9-3. Do you think that's a coincidence? The offensive line looks great over there in Chicago, by the way. Hat tip to them. They had a great game. They played hard. They played well. Caleb Williams makes some boneheaded throws, but he is a fighter. Ben Johnson has that entire organization turned around. Really amazing what they've done. And again, I will give a shout out to my boy DeAndre Swift over there. I've been watching. You guys saw that juke move he did on Sidney Brown in the first half. I've been watching DeAndre Swift make that juke move since he was in high school. Same move. 1 foot in the ground, and his change of direction is so fast and so good. Boom. 1 foot in, gone. I mean, he left Sidney Brown was, running nearly on the sideline. He left him in the dust so bad. So shout out to them. But, yeah, line of scrimmage, guys, it's brutal. We're so used to the Eagles dominating the line of scrimmage offensively. We've gotten used to this year, this defensive line making hay. We've spent 3 first-round draft picks on the defensive line. We have a 3rd-round draft pick on the defensive line. We have a 7th-round draft pick that's playing well on the defensive line. We traded for Jalen Phillips, another 1st-round draft pick that's come here to Philly. At some point, you need those guys to play too. Now, I'm not taking it off the offense. You know me. I'll give it to the offense. I'll get there. But the defensive line got destroyed yesterday. Absolutely destroyed yesterday. So, and the offensive line too. The offensive line gets no push. They create nothing in the run game. I don't even think, guys, to be honest, I don't even think Saquon ran the ball that poorly yesterday. I was rewatching the game last night. I know I was putting myself through the misery of doing it. I'm rewatching it, and I'm like, Saquon's actually hitting the holes today. He's trying to get upfield. There's nowhere for him to go. Now, there was a couple plays, I think, he had the drop pass. He had 2 drop passes. So he's not playing good football. But when it comes to strictly the run game, he was trying to get upfield. He hit the holes yesterday better than he has. It almost looked like he heard the noise of Saquon stop, dance, and hit the hole. Just not a lot of push in the offensive line. By the way, the linebackers yesterday, our linebackers, we talked about the Bears are missing 3 linebackers coming in that game. They were the 28th rush defense in the National Football League. And we talk about Zach Barn and Kobe Dean. Those dudes got clobbered yesterday. Where are you in the run game? 281? But here's the thing. The offensive line for the Bears was so good. They moved the defensive line out of the way, and then they got to the second level. It looked like the 24 Eagles offensive line. It really did for the Bears yesterday. That's how good it was. That's how good it was. Next thing I want to talk about is the missed opportunities. All right, there was a couple missed opportunities. There's a couple missed opportunities here for the Eagles. Now, the game was ugly, but when the Bears were only winning 10-3 after running for 140-plus yards in the first half, I'm sitting there and I'm like, boy, they didn't take advantage of their opportunity, the Bears. The Eagles are going to come back in this game and win. And that's honestly what I thought. All right, remember when we almost tied the game, Jake missed the extra point. All right, it was 10-9. The missed opportunities, in my opinion, are 2 big ones. And there's plenty of them, but the 2 big ones, in my opinion. 7-0, Bears were winning. 3rd down, 3rd and 8, I believe it was, from the Chicago 26. Jalen Hurts, short slant route to Devontae Smith, completely throws the ball behind him. Devontae maybe would have pranced into the end zone for 26-yard gain. He had nobody in front of him. It was the perfect coverage. It was the perfect call for what the coverage was. It was the perfect play design. All Jalen needed to do was make the throw to Devontae. He would have did the rest. 6-yard throw. And he just missed it. He just missed it. He put the ball way behind him. It wasn't a good throw. You could tell Jalen wish he had it back. I'm not going to crush him over the top for it. Quarterbacks miss throws. That was an egregious one in a game where points were a premium for the Eagles, and you had to settle for 3 there. That's a 4-point miss, a game-swinging miss, and Jalen Hurts has to make that throw. He has to make that throw. And that came after, by the way, the first drive when Jalen Hurts just completely threw a duck to Devontae Smith on a comeback route. Looked like the ball got tipped. The announcers thought the ball got tipped. The ball didn't get tipped. Jalen just threw a duck into the wind, and the wind threw the ball right into the ground. So, it was a bad throw by Jalen Hurts there. He completely left Devontae Smith out on an island, and that would have been a touchdown. That's the first missed opportunity. The second missed opportunity is this. The Bears are up 10-9. The Eagles missed the point after. The very next drive for the Bears, Jalix Hunt picks off the ball at the line of scrimmage. He intercepts Caleb Williams on a screen pass at the line of scrimmage. We got the ball then at the 36-yard line. 36-yard line, we had the ball. Down 10-9 in the second half of the game. Saquon ripped off a 15-yard run on the first play. Okay? We're down to the 21-yard line. It's 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. We've run one play. What a beautiful setup, right? The defense does its job. The defense gets a turnover. The defense takes the ball away. Offense can't convert. Saquon runs the ball 15 yards down, and then they can't convert. Or Barkley run. He got 3rd and 1, push, and boom. Bears made a stop. Jalen fumbled the football. So you have an opportunity to go up there when you've done basically nothing right in the game. You have a 3rd and 1 from this 13-yard line or whatever it was, and Jalen Hurts fumbles the ball in the tush push. It's a brutal miss, but those to me were the two opportunities you had in the game. As bad as you played, the Bears gave you life. Multiple times, they gave you life by not ever having a big deficit, not ever creating a big lead. And it was really tough. So that's bad. All right, guys, I got Johnny Mack. Let me get John McMullen in here. I might have to end the stream. Real quick, I want to say one more thing. Let me text John 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes. I got 3 more. All right, couple more pieces of things. Jalen Hurts. Okay, I just gave you my takeaways. Jalen Hurts. He's not playing good, guys. He's not playing good. He's not helping this football team. The play designs and everything are not good, but Jalen Hurts has to be better. Okay? If this team wants to do anything, you can't have a quarterback that's just not playing good week in and week out. He's not playing good, and he hasn't played good all year. There's guys running open almost every single play. It feels like Kevin Patullo is designing plays for these guys to get open. In the rare instances when he does push the ball downfield, A.J. Brown's making catches, Devontae Smith's making catches. I mean, they're wide open, these guys. I don't know what more we want from this offensive coordinator. Jalen is struggling to execute the most basic offense, and you want them to make a more complex offense? I don't understand that line of thinking. Jalen is not playing well. He's not playing well. He played awful yesterday. It was maybe the worst game of his year. Which is just absolutely brutal. So when you have that, when your defense gives up 281 yards and Jalen Hurts can't play and doesn't move the ball on offense, you can't run the football, you get dominated in the trenches, you're not going to win a football game. Now, if you look at the macro and the big picture here for the Eagles, I don't know where they are right now. People talk about the 23 collapse. It is starting to feel like that. This offense, they look unenthused. They look out of it. They look unmotivated. There's no heart. There's no desire. Jalen sits on the sideline sulking. Dude, fucking do something. You're the quarterback of the team. The entire offense has taken on the personality of Jalen, which at sometimes it's good. But at some moments, different moments are going to call for you to be a different version of yourself as a leader. And Jalen's going to have to do something different here. So those are my takeaways from the game, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in here. Sorry, I didn't go as long as I wanted to go. I do have John McMullen. I'm going to get to John. That'll be a separate stream. Walkout. Hey, Zander, thanks for doing this. Still taking the disaster in. AMDJ, love it, Bill K. Ad Maiorium, Dei Gloriam, for the greater glory of God. I love it, Walkout. Thank you, brother. Nick Gonzalez says, I thought John said Poles is an idiot. Well, Poles has built a pretty good roster over there. Okay, they've done a good job. So, all right, guys, appreciate you. More content coming. So I might do a little comment after John's done too. So stay tuned right now. I'm going to redirect this stream into the next stream for here on the channel, and we'll get John McMullen up. So I'll have Johnny Mack joining me, and then I'll redirect you into that stream next, and we'll get Johnny Mack's takeaway, day after takeaway on the game. So thanks everybody for listening. One more. Who put the offensive staff together? If Howie wants to credit when things go right, take the blame when you make bad decisions. Nick put the staff together. I'm telling you, I don't think it was Howie. But thanks for listening. Stay tuned. We'll be live in a couple minutes with John McMullen.